All right, everybody, welcome back to the CT70 Garage. It has been a few months since I've made a video. The last couple videos I made, I was having trouble with my camera. Even though the iPhone, I film everything with an iPhone, as I've said before, and the iPhone was nice and sturdy in the stand, but the video would just start shaking uncontrollably, and I just got to the point where I couldn't film anything, and it's taken me a couple months to get a new phone. So this is the first video with that, new camera and so forth. So a lot of stuff going on. Today's video, my shop is a mess. That's a pile of Lifen engines that I received a few weeks ago, and I've never done anything with. Those are for future projects. You can see I still have this red clone bike that I was building for a friend. I've never finished it since the last video. I just got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. It's been a downward spiral for the last few months. For most of you who've been around for a while, you know we own a little business, a little steel business in the Indianapolis area, and we've lost a couple employees over the last couple months, so I have been pulled back into full-time work. We're not a huge shop. We only had like 5 employees to begin with, so you lose a couple of them, and that really hurts. And so to help out until we can get some more help hired, I've gone back to work full-time. So I'm working 12, 13, 14-hour days, so doesn't allow time for videos, and plus the fact I didn't have a camera. So, but as you can see, my shop is a mess. So today's video, I'm going to clean this up, get some organization going on in here. I just don't like stuff piled up, but for the last few months, I've just been coming in and working on a project or whatever of my own, and just leaving tools out. I showed this bench. That's the engine that's going to go in this clone bike. I did get that engine from the guy, and I just never have put it in. But as you can see, I just got a lot of other junk. Somebody gave me a bunch of parts off of a bike that they had redone and had some used parts. And I just have junk everywhere. Up there, I've got a couple rental houses, and so we've been doing some work on some rental houses, and so I've got ladders and paint and weed killer and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to really film it, but I'm going to spend a little bit of time and go through the shop, both shops. Out here in the steel shop, it's a disaster. The paint sprayer and empty cans of paint from the rental houses we painted, and I just have stuff stacked up everywhere, tools all over the GMC pickup. The workbench back there still full of junk. Steel still sitting on the rollers that I never, I came in and cut a piece of steel for somebody, then never put it away. One of these days we're going to get back on this project. I built this thing on YouTube and drove it, and the more I drove it, the worse the engine ran and started knocking. A little bit of a backstory: I picked it up as just a cab and chassis with an engine transmission in it, no bed, no electrical, nothing to it. And we spent a video series going through everything, got it up and running. The engine did run, but like I said, the more I've driven it, the less drivable it's become because of the rod knock and so forth. So I actually have a small block Chevy sitting back here that I have built and ready to go in it. That is a good engine, but this stuff takes time, and right now Mikey doesn't have a whole lot of time. So, but anyway, so today's video is just let you know I'm back. Hopefully, I'm going to try and use Saturdays to do videos. Today is Saturday, July, what is this, the 10th maybe? So I'm going to work on cleaning up the shop, And then I do have one project for a neighbor. One of my best friends passed away in December from COVID, and he was only 55 years old. But his wife, who just lives down the street from us, she broke the handle on her lawnmower, and so has asked me if I can fix her lawnmower. So that's a project. So we're gonna get the shop cleaned up, picked up. I'm not gonna film that. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll come bring you back and show you the after we've got it a little better organized, and then we will work on that lawnmower. This new camera, this new phone. Oh yeah, it's got all kinds of fancy little buttons. You know, I can go. That's 1x. This is 2.5x. We can really zoom in. Sorry, I'm just playing. But anyway, so all right, I'm gonna shut you off. I'm gonna get this mess put up, cleaned up, and then when I'm ready to work on that lawnmower, we'll come back. All right, guys, here we are a couple hours later. Probably not gonna look a whole lot different to you, but I got the bench cleaned off. I threw all the life and engines underneath the bench. Kind of pulled bikes out and swept around them. Put all the parts for this bike on the bench. You know, just kind of straightened up and organized the bikes over here. Picked up some of the random stuff that was around here. So, you guys like kick and goes? Kick and goes are pretty cool. I've got a few of those. That's an old kick and go advertising. I don't know if that was a duck or what that was, but and models. I like models. Different toys. I've got these Nylon trucks, and they're all still brand new in boxes. And the reason I have them, not that I'm into Nylon trucks, but each one came with a Trail 70 on it as part of. So I thought those were cool, so that's why I have those. So try not to spin you around here too fast. And I got up here cleaned up a little bit, some things put away. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys, I collect Arthur Fulmer helmets. That's what these are. Oh, got one with a bad sticker on it. But it says Arthur Fulmer. This is an AF-20. I think they made an AF-40. Yep, there's an AF-40. And off the top of my head, I can't tell you what the difference between an AF-40 and an AF-20 is. But you can, the Arthur Fulmer ones have chrome. A lot of them, I collect the sparkly ones mostly. The knockoffs are black. These are not Arthur Fulmers. These are $5 garage sale helmets. But I've got these. This white one is a Fulmer. And over there that's a blue and a red that are an original. So anyway, just some of my junk that I have, just trying to fill video, give you guys something to see. So I've got this part of the shop cleaned up as good as I need it to be to make me feel better anyway. So I am going out here. I've got this lawnmower on a little workbench, and like I said, it's got a broken handle. So I'm going to get a couple pieces of steel, drill holes. I've measured that. Looks like it's 1.25 inches. I don't know, you guys won't see it, but I believe the holes are 1.25 inches center on center, and the piece is about 1.25 inches wide that I'll need. So I'm gonna get that ready to go, and then we'll unbolt this handle and see if we can't weld up some new fasteners for it. I have not hooked up my little Bluetooth on-off thing for the video yet, so you'll see me reach for the phone to turn the video on and off at the phone. I apologize about that. I still need to get that hooked up. So I've had a little piece of steel that was the right, I'm doing 1/8 inch thick, 1 1/4 inch wide, and I put holes that are 1 1/4 inch on center. And then I'll cut these to the length I need each one. I put a 3/8 hole based on that the hardware is a 9/16 wrench. Typically that tells me that's a 3/8 bolt, so that's what we're going to hope that is. I don't know if I may have to tip this up here. Let me tip it up and then I will re-put you guys back into the screen. Everything's in the way. There we go. Curious to see if my 1 1/4 inch on center was going to be correct. I think it's going to be close enough. We're maybe a little bit off, but we'll get it to work. So, all right, I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'm gonna flip that over, take the other side off, and then we'll bring you back when we're ready to weld these pieces on. All right, so I have ground the paint off of the handle, and I have cut the pieces to size. I've got the first one clamped, and I am just going to weld it. I cut it all the way up to where it starts to being kind of pinched down. This one, even though it wasn't broke off yet, it was starting to. So next thing I'm gonna do is get both of those welded on there. I will probably try and weld back on this one just to get that extra thickness and rigidity. And we'll bring you back when we've got those pieces welded on. All right, they're not perfect by any stretch. I'm not a professional fabricator, but I think we can at least get it bolted back onto the mower now and see if it works. Well, guys, I know it's not a CT70, but at least I got another video out there. Got it all put back together. Adding the 1/8 inch thick pieces to each side did necessitate putting a little longer bolt in each one. So she's got 4 new bolts in that, but I've got it all back together. Seems to be nice and sturdy. This isn't her regular mower. They use this one. They've got a ravine down over kind of back behind their house, and this is kind of their brush mower. That's why it looks kind of rough and kind of ugly. They just use it, pull it out, once or twice a year just to kind of knock down that the tall grass back there in the back where nobody really goes. So anyway, it's good to be back. Glad I got a camera again. Hopefully we will get back to doing some videos on some bikes before too long. I really do need to finish up this little CT70 clone that I started for this guy, and we're making a yard bike out of it, but just not have had a lot of time. I'm not working on Saturdays, so maybe, like I said earlier in the video, today's Saturday. Maybe Saturday can be my video day. At this point, I'm not going to make any promises. Every time I think I am ready to, have a regular schedule and do videos on a regular basis, well then, some kind of wrench gets thrown into the plan, and I've made too many promises that I've had to break, and so I'm not going to do that. Obviously, I'll put out a video when I can. So appreciate you guys sticking in there with me, and we will see you hopefully within the next couple weeks when we get back to work on this thing. Guys, have a great day. See ya.